In early 1781, things were not going well for the Patriots. Congress had no money to pay soldiers or supply the army. The British controlled most of the South, and they also held Philadelphia and New York City. How did the Patriots turn things around? Hoping to stay in contact with the British naval fleet, Lord Conwallis, now the chief British commander, set up a base at Yorktown, Virginia. From there, he could be supplied by land or sea and could dispatch troops anywhere quickly. Washington, sensing an opportunity to trap the British Army, ordered Lafayette to keep Cornwallis occupied at Yorktown. He then combined his army with 4,000 French troops under the command of Comte de Rochambeau and marched south as the French rushed naval forces to seize control of the Chesapeake Bay. The British fleet sent to rescue Cornwallis was defeated, and when the British attempted to escape by land, they were sent reeling back into their fortifications. Cornwallis found himself trapped by 16,000 American and French soldiers. Around the clock, the Patriots poured shells into the British fortifications at Yorktown. In a daring night attack, Alexander Hamilton and Rochambeau captured two key British forts called 9 and 10, cutting off Cornwallis's final route of escape. On the morning of October the 17th, 1781, Cornwallis penned the following words to Washington: "Sir, I propose a cessation of hostilities for 24 hours, and that 2 officers be appointed by each side to settle the terms for the surrender of the post at York and Gloucester." A lone British drummer boy and a red-coated officer with a white handkerchief began walking toward the Americans. After a week of constant cannon fire, it fell eerily silent. The only sound was the cadence of the drum. On the 19th, Washington signed the final surrender terms, just as a British fleet set sail from New York with thousands of reinforcements for what they were calling the all-or-nothing battle. But the battle had already been fought. Later that day, 8,000 British troops surrendered in an open meadow. At their head was a general named Charles O'Hara, as Cornwallis couldn't bring himself to surrender to the Americans. The British band played an appropriate tune as they laid their weapons down. They played "The World Turned Upside Down." The Americans stood on one side of the road, with the French on the other. Lafayette noticed that every British soldier faced the French in an attempt to block out the Americans. Lafayette, disgusted that the British would dishonor the Americans, snapped an order to his division's band. With the roll of the drums and a squeal of fifes, the band exploded into a bold rendition of Yankee Doodle. The British instinctively swung their heads around and stared into the eyes of their ex-subjects. But their general continued trying to ignore the Americans, offering his sword to Rochambeau. The French general pointed across the road to Washington, who in turn gestured to his second-in-command, Benjamin Lincoln. Lincoln pointed to an open field where the redcoats were piling their muskets. Afterwards, Lafayette quickly rushed to his tent to send word to France. In a letter to a friend, he wrote, "The play, sir, is over."